continues.
Now on News 4 at 6, this is the final broadcast for the legendary Chuck Scarborough. We bid farewell to a friend and celebrate his amazing career. His final words to you, our viewers, and our special tribute to him.
And subway meltdown, thousands trapped in tunnels, then evacuated. New details on the investigation into how several subway lines lost power.
On the trail of a suspected killer, new details you'll only see here about the alleged travels and timeline of Luigi Mangione. That is where we begin tonight at 6. I'm Natalie Pasquarella.
And I'm Chuck Scarborough. We're learning more about where investigators say Mangione went after the killing. Chief investigative reporter Jonathan Dietz spoke with two top NYPD officials today about the investigation. He joins us with what they had to say. John?
Chuck, Natalie, police say they believe Mangione's anger generally at the healthcare industry over his past back surgery may have been one key factor that led him to target that health insurance executive.
We have no indication that he was ever a client.
Well, as you may have heard, this is my final broadcast as anchor of the evening news on NBC4 New York. First and foremost, I am profoundly grateful for your trust. Without that, I would not have survived for more than half a century in this job and been allowed to occupy this front row seat to history of our fascinating metropolis and the world beyond for so long. 4 months after I arrived in 1974, President Nixon, who won a landslide election just 2 years earlier, resigned, the first presidential resignation in the nation's history. In 1975, New York City plunged into effective bankruptcy, and the Vietnam War came to a chaotic end. The pace of breaking news has been relentless ever since. We've been through blackouts together, riots, crime waves, hurricanes, blizzards, economic crises, corruption, public and private, 9/11, wars, and a pandemic. But just as important were the stories of human achievement in the arts and sciences, of forgiveness, kindness, recovery, and resilience. If there is one overarching lesson I've learned, it is that. We are more resilient than we realize, individually and as a city and a nation. We get knocked down and we come back stronger. I will be eternally grateful for the privilege of working with so many dedicated, brilliant, and talented broadcast journalists on both sides of the camera, some risking their lives in dangerous places to bring you the news. In this age of algorithms and cable channels herding the citizenry into like-minded silos, of AI and social media fictions suffocating truth, it has never been more important to do what they do so well, hew to the basic principles of accuracy, objectivity, and fairness. I'm going to leave you now with a final thought I shared with my NBC colleagues earlier this year when they gathered in the Rainbow Room atop this building to celebrate my 50th anniversary with the National Broadcasting Company. Itself a quintessential American success story, founded by a Russian immigrant named David Sarnoff, who began by selling newspapers at age 15 to help support his struggling family. I urged my colleagues to do something I still do, to reestablish perspective, appreciation, a sense of mission. Walk out on Fifth Avenue and look back through the Channel Gardens, across the skating rink, above the statue, at this towering building with awe, and say, I work here. I work here, and this is important. And what I do is important. I work for the National Broadcasting Company, the oldest and largest television network in this country, with a storied history. Feel the weight of that history and the weight of the responsibility that we all bear to get it right, to do it well, to make it interesting. It's an honor to work with you. That message was aimed at our work here, the grinding challenges of daily news gathering. But it just as easily applies to our city and to our country and to all of us, all of you. We all need to lift our eyes occasionally from the political fevers and societal imperfections of the day and appreciate what we have, how far we've come, and the opportunity we've been given to continue our journey toward a more perfect union. Thank you, and good night.